world that stops spinning. Perhaps the world outside is a projection of a broken film. I am the only one left in the theater after the lights dim. The scale of my insignificance is a mountain I cannot climb. I'm watching my own silhouette fade into the gravity drags my heavy thoughts into a sea of molten lead. The architecture of my loneliness is reinforced with steel. My voice is a whisper in a hurricane of self-inflicted doubt. There is no rescue coming for the man who locked the door. Right roads. Oh, stains on the driveway look like Rorschach blots. The smell of burnt rubber hangs in the humidity. I'm staring at the mountain that blocks out the sun, feeling the weight of the valley on my shoulders. Teeth grinding against the silence of the afternoon. The engine is a heartbeat thudding in the driveway. Melt the silver of my youth to forge a new path, screaming into the hollow night until the stars shake. I am the lightning striking the highest point of the hill, carving my own name into the crust of the earth. Crust of the earth. Cracked pavement feels like dry skin under my boots. The sunset is just a bruise that refuses to heal. I see the same cars circling the same tired blocks, trapped in a loop that I am finally breaking. I hid the suitcase under the bed like a weapon of war. I am a coffee you liked, even though I can't stand the taste. The ritual of mourning that I perform every single morning. I regret the way I let the distance grow until it was a canyon. Too wide the bridge and too deep for us to ever climb out. I forged your signature on the lease just to keep you near me. I lied about the future because I was terrified of the present. I am the reason we are both ghosts in this city tonight. I'm a hurricane trapped in a jar of cheap perfume, sweeping up the debris in a padded wall room. You gave me the script, but I'm needing a page. I got a front row seat to my own quiet rage. My nerves are a highway of electric wire, and I'm looking for a way to start a forest fire. Unchained the beast that was sleeping inside. There's nowhere for the hollow-eyed people to hide. I'm the wreckage you feared, the mistake you made, and I'm stepping out from the cooling shade. Scraping the rust off a heart made of lead, thinking about the things that the TV said. It's a garbage can carnival, a plastic parade, but I'm sharpening the edge of a rusted blade. The clock is a hammer and the time is a nail. I'm breaking the bars of this mental jail. Crush the expectations and throw them away. I'm starting the hunt at the end of the day. No more excuses for the bruises I wear. I'm breathing the smoke of the heavy set. I can hear the silence. It's louder than the noise. Stripped of the habits and the broken toys. I'm sinking, I'm floating, I'm gone before the red light hits the dawn. echoes of the hollow. The ceiling is breathing in the middle of the night, counting the pulses of the dying street light. A cold wind is blowing through the gaps in my chest where the demons of doubt have built the dark nest. I'm a passenger sitting in a ghost-driven car, trying to remember where the exits all are. The mountains are leaning over the edge of the town, waiting for the moment that the sky will fall down. I'm gathering the embers from a fire gone cold, turning my story into something bold. I'm ripping the mask off the face in the dark, igniting the wood with a desperate spark. I won't be a prisoner of the things I've done wrong, finding the melody in a dissonant song. This is the moment where I finally belong. I turned the light on and the shadows all fled, replacing the poison with the truth instead. The phantom that followed me is starting to fade, just a trick of the light and the choices I made. I'm drawing a circle around where I stand, planting my flag in this desolate sand. The stars are aligning in a jagged new line, showing me the path that is rightfully mine. The tide is retreating from the shore of my mind, leaving the wreckage of the past far behind. I'm shattering the chains that were forged in the gloom, making some space in this crowded room. I'm breathing the air that I once thought was thin, finding the strength that was hidden within. This is the day that I actually win. A skyscraper built out of bone and regret is crumbling down in a storm of thick sweat. I'm catching the lightning in both of my hands, rewriting the laws of these internal ends. Break the cycle, tear it down. I'm wearing the scars like a crown on my head, reclaiming the light from the things that I said. I'm the architect now of the future I see, finally becoming what I'm meant to be. The chains are all broken and I'm finally free. Its wings against the yellow porch light. A storm is brewing over the rusted grain silo. I can feel the electricity vibrating. off the side of the general store. Eyes watch from behind the curtains of every house. They know my name, but they don't know my hunger. They think the horizon is just a wall of clouds. I told myself I'd stay for you, but I was lying to survive. I am digging my way out of this gray with my teeth. Shatter the silence and outrun the morning light. Becoming the sun that the valley never dared to see. I am the vibration that breaks the windows of the past. Finally home in a world that doesn't have a fence. That doesn't have a fence. Running on empty towards the edge. I am faded Polaroids cut at the edges on the kitchen table. A fingerprint in the dust on the mirror you forgot to wipe away. The kettle whistles a lonely tune that stays in the wrong key. Your teacup sits empty beside a stack of unpaid bills. The rhythm of the clock feels like a hammer hitting velvet. Gravity pulls a little harder on the edges of my vision. I'm sitting in shadow, stretching across the linoleum floor. The scent of old lavender and the sting of cold winter air. Broken melodies humming through the cracks in the drywall. A ghost of a touch that vanishes when I reach out to grab it. I hid the letters you wrote under the loose floorboard in the closet, knowing that reading them would be like swallowing broken glass. I regret the way I turned my back when you looked for a reason to stay. Pretending I didn't see the tears blurring the path to the car. I never told you that I was the one who broke the compass. I wanted us to be lost so you couldn't find your way out. It was a selfish cage and I am the only one left in the cell. Crushing the remains of the pedestal I built for our misery. The distortion washed sun is rising over the debris of our shared history. No more ghosts lingering in the corners of my mind. The path ahead is clear and completely silent. Iron and rust, with the moisture like ink. Standing on the edge of the kitchen sink. The faucet is dripping, a rhythm of dread, matching the heartbeat inside of my head. There's a figure in the hallway who looks just like me, but he's trapped in a cage that I can't even see. The staircase is winding into the black fog, smelling of cedar and old burning log. I'm reaching for something that's solid and fast, trying to break through the weight of the past. I'm breaking the iron that's rusted on my limbs, singing the loudest of my own battle hymns. I'm drowning the demon in a river of light, winning the war in the middle of the night. Everything's wrong, but I'm making it right. Palm of my hand, it was always right there like a grain in the sand. I opened the cage and the figure stepped out, replacing the fear and replacing the doubt. We merged in the center of the cold dusty floor, and I don't feel the need to hide anymore. The roof is exploding into a million shots, playing the best of my hidden trump cards. The oxygen's filling the gaps in my chest, putting the ghosts of the winter to rest. I'm melting the chains in a furnace of will, standing so tall on the top of the hill. I'm seizing the day like a weapon of war. I'm not the victim I was once before. I'm opening every closed up door. Beneath the layers of skin and of bone, I found a kingdom that I call my own, scrubbing the rust from the gears of my heart, giving my life a brand new start. Identity, my own I'm the king of the ruins and the king of the new, filtering out every word that's untrue. I've reclaimed the name that was stolen exactly who I'm supposed to be. Board and I'm about to shut it out. I got a head full of venom and a lung full of shout. They sold me a mat with no exits inside, but I'm carving a hole in the middle of the night. My shadow is a stranger with a heavy duty grudge, and I'm the only jury and I'm the only judge. Flood the system with a violent grace. I'm erasing the features from my hollowed out face. I'm a landslide of anger, a mountain of bone, and I'm building a kingdom on a crumbling throne. Broken down radios playing the same old song. I've been trying to be right for way too long. Now I'm embracing the wrong and the ugly and the mean. I'm the dirtiest thing that you've ever seen. Spilling the ink on the pristine floor. I'm not the person you knew anymore. Burn the archives and forget the past. I found a momentum that was built to last. I'm a storm in a bottle that's ready to pop. And once I start moving, I'm never gonna stop. Silence is a heavy, heavy cloth. Flame is a magnet for the moth. I'm falling through the cracks of the floor. I don't wanna feel this way echoes of the hollow. The ceiling is breathing and in the middle of the night. Counting the pulses of the dying street light. A cold wind is blowing through the gaps in my chest, where the demons of doubt have built their dark nest. I'm a passenger sitting in a ghost-driven car, trying to remember where the exits all are. The mountains are leaning over the edge of the town, waiting for the moment that the sky will fall down. I'm gathering the embers from a fire gone cold, turning my story into something bold. I'm ripping the mask off the face in the dark, igniting the wood with a desperate spark. I won't be a prisoner of the things I've done wrong, finding the melody in a dissonant song. This is the moment where I finally belong. I turned the light on and the shadows all fled, replacing the poison with the truth instead. The phantom that followed me is starting to fade, just a trick of the light and the choices I made. I'm drawing a circle around where I stand, planting my flag in this desolate sand. The stars are aligning in a jagged new line, showing me the path that is rightfully mine. The tide is retreating from the shore of my mind, leaving the wreckage of the past far behind. I'm shattering the chains that were forged in the gloom, making some space in this crowded room. I'm breathing the air that I once thought was thin, finding the strength that was hidden within. This is the day that I actually win. A skyscraper built out of bone and regret is crumbling down in a storm of thick sweat. I'm catching the lightning in both of my hands, rewriting the laws of these internal lands. Break the cycle! Tear it down. I'm wearing the scars like a crown on my head, reclaiming the life from the things that I said. I'm the architect now of the future I see, finally becoming what I'm meant to be. The chains are all broken and I'm finally free. I am here. Feedback fades to black. Rust and salt water, silver frost on the windshield where you drew a heart with your thumb. I can still see the blur of it when the morning sun hits the glass. echoing through the empty hallways. I found the key to your apartment at the bottom of my winter coat, a useless piece of metal that doesn't open anything anymore. I regret the pride that kept my mouth shut while you were screaming, watching the ship sing, while I stood safely on the shore. I knew the end was coming weeks before you even packed a bag. I sabotaged the peace because I didn't know how to handle the quiet. I am the architect of the ruins I am currently standing in. Tear the sky open and let the rain wash the rust away. The weight of the unspoken is finally crashing down on the floor. I am screaming into the void and hearing the echo die out. The unfinished goodbye is finally written in the dirt. Walking away from the wreckage without looking back once. The air is cold and fresh and finally mine to breathe. I wrote those stains on the driveway look like Rorschach blots. A smell of burnt rubber hangs in the humid air. I'm staring at the mountain that blocks out the sun, feeling the weight of the valley on my shoulders. She's crying against the silence of the afternoon. The engine is a heartbeat thudding in the driveway. Melt the silver of my youth to forge a new path. Screaming into the hollow night until the stars shake. I am the lightning striking the highest point of the hill, carving my own name into the crust of the earth. Cracked pavement feels like dry skin under my boots. The sunset is just a bruise that refuses to heal. I see the same car circling the same tired blocks, trapped in a loop that I am finally voltage of the dam. God is a circuit board and I'm about to short it out. I got a head full of venom and a lung full of shout. They sold me a map with no exits inside, but I'm carving a hole in the middle of the night. My shadow is a stranger with a heavy duty grudge, and I'm the only jury and I'm the only judge. Flood the system with a violent grace. I'm erasing the features from my hollowed out face. I'm a landslide of anger, I'm mounting a bone, and I'm building a kingdom on a crumbling throne. Broken down radios playing the same old song. I've been trying to be right for way too long. Now I'm embracing the wrong and the ugly and the mean. I'm the dirtiest thing that you've ever seen. Spilling the ink on the pristine floor. I'm not the person you knew anymore. Burn the archives and forget the past. I found a momentum that was built to last. I'm stored in a bottle that's ready to pop, and once I stop moving, I'm never gonna stop. Silence is a heavy, heavy cloud. Flame is a magnet for the moth. I'm falling through the cracks of the floor. I don't wanna feel this way anymore. Explosion, revolution, the end of the line. I'm taking back the seconds that were never mine. Free from the grip, free from the hand. I'm the last man standing in the promised road. Let it go, let it go. I run long escape. The silence is a predator, and I'm the only bait. I've been standing on the platform just to learn how to wait, but the train is a skeleton and the tracks are a lie. And I'm looking at the ceiling till the clouds start to die. I've got a fist full of static and a mouth full of grit, and I'm finally ready to admit that I quit. Kick down the barricade and run for the hills. I'm done with the doctors and the porcelain pills. I'm a wild-eyed animal finding its teeth and shedding the mask that was buried beneath. Graffiti on the soul.